Hi, I'm Natalie, and here is another So Hungry Hippie tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to add a luggage sleeve to your Santorini tote, or really any bag, but I'm going to use this Santorini tote because it's very simple. There are no zipper pockets because of the vinyl, so it'll just be nice and clean to show you how to do it. I'm just using a scrap fabric, so don't expect this to be matchy-matchy. That's not the purpose here. I am going to use this leopard print fabric and foam. I like to have some body and strength to my luggage sleeves. So that's why I don't do them with just fabric only. I always put an interfacing in there. Now, fusible fleece will also work, so will leftover quilt batting. Whatever you have on hand is absolutely fine. Let's go overhead, and I'm going to show you how I wing this and make it work. So as you can see, this is the width of my Santorini tote here. So my fabric is just a smidge wider. And then as for the pocket height, I guesstimated like this high, which is about 7 inches. So I have doubled that and added 1/2 inch for seam allowance, just like this. This is how we're going to sew it. But first, I want to put some foam in here. So I like to use a little 505 spray and attach it like this so that it's easier for me to sew all this together. Now, as you can see, the foam is on one side. I have a little lip down here to sew this bottom seam with just the fabric in case you don't want to sew the foam, okay? Now, what we're going to do is sew right across this bottom edge and leave these two open. Leave them open because we're going to flip this right side out. So your fabric is right sides together. Your foam is on one side, okay? It doesn't have to be microscopically perfect here. That's the beauty of sewing. We can do it good enough and it'll look perfect. So I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine. And I'm going to sew this bottom seam. All right, so it's sewn all the way across. Now, I know myself, and that's why I 505 this foam in place, because I'm not quilting it just yet. You could always stick it in later, but for me, it's harder. So I put my arm through here and I pull it through and I'm grasping that foam at the same time. And it just goes right through. It's easy peasy. Okay, no trying to slide it in after the fact or anything. Now, if you want to do that, it's fine. It's correct too. Live your life. Do your thing. I'm going to take this to the ironing thing, and Ramel's on his phone, so I'm going to control the pedals. How you like that, Rob? I'm going to press this with my hot iron. Now, it is good practice to try and wiggle your seam down here to be at the bottom, unless you want it in the center or some other design choice. I'm here for it. It's fine. And here we are, okay? Now, just to make it easier on myself, I'm gonna baste and I'm gonna baste. We don't need to worry about these raw edges yet. Let's go to the machine. I'm gonna turn my stitch length up to 5. Here we are. This is just to mash down the seams a bit. If you wanna zigzag here, you absolutely can. I've got my whacker mallet ready, so I'm not going to need to zigzag to mash that foam down at all. All right, now for the fun part. We're going to take apart this Santorini. Lickety split. I got my scalpel. I got my coffee. And I got a positive attitude. So I'm going to come in here, try to pull this apart a bit. I see a little opening. I can just get in there with my scalpel. See that? Now we're gonna go on this side, roughly the same area. Be careful if you're working with vinyl. You don't want to cut the vinyl up. I'm just cutting those stitches. I know some people are probably gasping right now, but it's going to be fine. Okay. Now, if I had started making the bag and it was not put together, I would have attached this luggage sleeve before the construction, okay? All right, so I've opened these side seams and we're gonna pull out the seam allowance here. Okay, try to flatten it a bit. And then we're going to match these raw edges. And sometimes you might have to come in and give yourself a little bit more room or cut this baby down if you need to and redo it. We're gonna match one side edge to the raw edges of the luggage sleeve. Not both sides of the bag. Does that make sense? One side of the bag. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. And try to get this added straight. So a lot of times what I'll do is clip it in place and then hold it away from my face and give it a proper gander. I love that word. There we go. Okay, so what I mean by that is I go like this, or I even put it on the floor. I seem to have better spatial orientation when it's like this on the floor, 5 feet away, you know. And then we're gonna sew those side seams. So we're gonna sew there and sew there. Now remember, this is a hack for an already made bag. If you're starting from scratch, you want to do this before you put the bag all together. I'm just going to say that again because I know somebody's going to skip to this minute and be like, why didn't you put that in at the very beginning? Because I forgot, okay? So let me see if I can do this. It will take some finagling. So a lot of you might have those cylinder arm machines and it'll be much easier to get the bag in this way, but I don't. So I just force it and make it work. Yeah, let's go to the machine, Rom. And I'm gonna start with my 3mm stitch length. And I've got just one layer of the bag. The other side is pushed out of the way. And I'm attaching it. Oh, yep, still one layer. I'm good. You don't want to backstitch too much on the vinyl. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side. Must be something in the air today. My throat is scratchy. Make sure I'm just sewing the one layer still. Yeah, I had a feeling this one turned under on me. So let me unpick that. And you know how sometimes you can just feel it? I felt it and I didn't trust myself. So let me put that back in. I hope that I'm not going to perforate the vinyl. All right, there we go. Now, the next step is we have to fold this under. Now, if you need to cut the foam out of your seam allowance, it's fine. Go ahead and do that. I'm gonna whack mine down with my mallet, you know, one of my favorite tools, and it's going to be fine. And I'm just gonna stitch up this side. And yes, we'll see the stitches, but this is a bag for me. And I forgot to add this in the beginning. And nobody else is gonna notice unless I point it out and show them my mistake, you know? So whatever, it's fine. That right there is gonna be kind of thick. I may have to do a rivet there to make it work. Okay, now this side. Yeah, these are thick, but I like it that way. It'll be strong. Get out some aggression. Instant therapy. See, that wasn't even expensive. I'm your therapist from afar. How about it? Okay. Now, once I have my boxed corners pushed out again properly, you'll see that this is just fine in the width. If you feel like it's pulling your bag inward, then just extend the width some more. It's an easy fix, or you can always push these side seams in more, whatever you want. I'm thinking that this side needs a whack. So satisfying. Yeah, it's much thinner after a good whack. All right, so now I'm gonna sew. Remember, this is not the proper way. This is a fix for when I forgot to add my luggage sleeve in the first place. I wanna say that again. Because I just know it. Somebody's going to say, you should have added that. I know. Should have done a lot of things in life. Okay. Now let's pray that my machine does not get mad at me with 2 layers of vinyl, a layer of foam, 2 layers of fabric, and 2 layers of SF101. We want to take bets, Rom? I've got a Microtex needle. I should probably turn my foot pressure up just a smidge because this is gonna be thick. Oh yeah, go to the machine. And remember, you would use a matching thread, so you would not see your stitches. You're gonna see all my stitches on this. If you want to quilt your luggage sleeve, you can do that. Give it some more dimension. Yeah, this is getting really thick down here, so I'm going to throw a rivet to secure that bottom. That's where all the 2 vinyls meet. Yeah, it's just too much. I don't want to break my needle. So same thing over here. This little part here, I'm going to add a rivet. We have to improvise sometimes with sewing, am I right? Nothing is worth crying over, nothing. I've done it, so I'm not judging you if you have. I've done it too. What? Oh, my head? My glasses and my hair? Okay. Here we go. I don't even care about a wrinkle in the fabric at this point. I don't care. Okay. So it's added, but hold on. I will be throwing rivets at the bottom so that the bottom doesn't come undone. But now this is the portion that you slide onto your suitcase. You know, I really should have brought a suitcase with me to demonstrate. Let me try to use my Sew Tight stand. Pretend that this is my luggage handle, and you're just gonna go like that. And then your bag can sit on the top of your suitcase, but it's secured over your handle with this luggage sleeve. Capiche? Can they see that? That looks a little low. So this is my luggage handle. So there it is. Now, I think Michelle Graham has another video for you. It's probably a lot more in depth. And she has, I think, done it from the beginning of bag construction, which is what you want to do. I'm simply showing you that it's not the end of the world if you forget and you want to add it later. It's okay. Nobody's going to come up and say, these seams, you should have sewn these differently, right sides together. No, if they're doing that, then they need to be kicked in the shins. So there you go. There is the luggage sleeve. How fun would it be to add a zipper and have a little pocket in your luggage sleeve? Maybe that'll be our next tutorial. That'd be fun, right? To put your keys or your phone in, maybe on the inside so it's a little more secure.
Yeah.
Keys especially, or your parking ticket when you park at the parking garage at the airport. That thing is my nemesis.
Yeah. One on the inside, one on the inside.
One on the inside, one on the inside?
One on the outside, one on the inside.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. So there it is. It's kind of a funky tutorial this week, but you know, a lot of times I think we just need to know that we can follow our instincts or our guts, and it's okay. Just because it's not the way it's traditionally done, or dare I say properly done, doesn't mean it won't work. Explore, have fun, give yourself that freedom. Sewing is one of those hobbies where there are a ton of ways to get it done, a ton of ways to do something. Limitless. You might like or prefer one technique over another. Doesn't make it more right. It makes it more right for you. But somebody else might like the opposite technique. It's happened to me. That's why I love sewing other people's patterns as well, because I'm always learning. Oh, she does it this way. How interesting. I never would have thought of that way. And, you know, it's this hobby that you can just keep growing with no matter what age you are. I bet I will still be learning sewing techniques at 85. Right? So there we are. Let me know if you try this in the comments or if you do it the proper way during bag construction and if it works for you. All right? Have fun. Peace, love, sewing.